Hey y'all, did you think that I had fallen off the planet? Okay, also, my hair's up in a ponytail. I don't have mascara on. And so I thought what I would do is put mascara on. And then I thought I'll do a second video on what's in my purse because I'm fixing to dump my purse. And I thought you might want to see what's in it. A couple of times people had said it's been a long time since you've done an updated what's in my purse video. And it's getting so full of stuff that I thought, well, it would be a good time to do that now. And what else was it? Oh, the other request I had was a handbag collection. Y'all, I gotta tell y'all, my handbag collection is so huge. It's sad. But I enjoy handbags, and I just have to resolve to the fact that I do enjoy them. What did I do with any mascara? I'm bound to have some mascara in here. Now, come on, mascara. Where are you at? I know I do. Okay, do you see why I need to do a what's in my purse? Because I can't even tell you what is in here. Alright, I see something down there. Milk. Let's try it. Put my wallet back because I don't want to get somewhere. Have y'all ever done that where you are changing out purses or for whatever reason, and you pull your wallet out, or either you switch something over to the other purse and you get somewhere and it's like you don't have what you need. Okay, so where have I been? Well, I'm doing this mascara. This is a sample size. This is not milk. This is Tarte Surfer Curl. Is it waterproof? Volumizing. Doesn't look like it's waterproof. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so while I'm putting on some mascara, and we'll sample this and see if we like it. I'm going to go ahead and curl them first. I will tell you where I've been. Y'all know that my daddy was picked up by Jesus the morning after Christmas. And so we have been trying to set up a time with my sister, she lives out of state, that she could come down and we could go through the house. So if any of you guys, I know some of y'all have said that you went through the death of a parent, and you know, you have to clean out their estate. And the estate doesn't mean I'm rich, it just means all of their belongings, their house. He had a little shed out back. I say a little shed. It was a very big, custom-built shed by the people who lived there before he did. And so, I mean, that thing was very well made. Back then, they made things amazing. So, let me put on a little eyeliner first. I've been working in the house, so that's part of what's been going on. Is I have been getting stuff from my dad's house. My sister came down for a week. I worked from my dad's and on breaks, because both me and my sister are executive assistants or admin assistants, and so we both had our laptops out on the dining room table. Actually, she was on the kitchen table, I was on the dining room table, and we were working remotely. And on breaks, we'd stop and we would go, you know, go through some stuff in a room. Then we'd come back. And this went on for 2 days before we realized, or 3 days before we realized we just needed to take some vacation days and knock it out. So I did talk to my boss. I said, look, she says, you should take them all week. But we're also very busy at work. So, I mean, it was just hard. It's very, very hard. And I got to tell y'all, it's really hard also to watch your childhood home be taken apart. 95-year-old man, so almost 100 years of living in that house, and they'd only lived another place a certain amount of years before that. I was first through third grade. Well, I don't know, it's school-wise, I was born in that house, so what would that be, 8 years before that. So I think, I don't know, maybe there were like 12 years at that house, and then 40 years at the one that he got to live in until he died. And I am very thankful for that. I know that's not true for everybody. It's something you hope for, is that you'll never have to go into any kind of a home home. Nobody wants that, but sometimes if somebody cannot be cared for at home, you don't have a choice. But there's a lot of legalities and financial stuff they don't tell you, like the fact that they take everything in your estate to cover their bills, they say. I'm sure it's not cheap, but still I feel like somehow it's a ripoff. I'm sorry. For people who you may work in those homes, I don't mean to sound offensive. I'm very thankful for people who work in those homes if they do a good job. But I gotta also tell you, I've been in some of them, one that my dad was in for a rehab period, and they did not do a good job. They should have been shut down. So, anyway, some of them are really good, some of them are really not good. And, but anyway, he was able to live in his home, and so there was a lot of stuff in the home, y'all. And it's very hard to watch your whole childhood go in a dumpster. And all of your parents' things go in a dumpster. You start out wanting to keep everything the first few hours of working on it. And then after a while you realize, especially the first time I brought stuff home, my house is full. I'm still working on it. Every day I'm having to work a little at a time because it's honestly, it's overwhelming. It's almost depressing. And so I'm trying not to overwhelm myself with it mentally by giving myself any kind of a deadline. It's just like I try to do a little every day and I'll get to it. Some days it bothers me more than others, so I just like really jump in on it, you know. But it's hard to watch all of that stuff go in the trash because that stuff represents different memories in your life. And, you know, after all, it is just stuff. But sometimes you just, and it's the silliest things you can't throw away. I couldn't throw away a little flower arrangement that was covered in dust because I remember when I got it and all that kind of stuff. But at some point, you just have to let go. And some people have said take a picture of the really important things, but my phone is full of pictures as well. But I did, you know, and as far as picture albums, we couldn't part with all the childhood ones and also the ones from my parents and their childhood and their parents' childhood. I mean, there was generations of pictures in there. Many, almost all of them are dead and gone. Dad was one of the lone survivors of the family, period. He even outlived his younger sister. My aunt died, and her husband remains. And then my dad's gone, and I think their two sons, me and my sister, and a couple of other cousins out west. Some have made it, some haven't. You know, we have not stayed in touch, which is very sad to me. But, and there were a couple of cousins on my mom's side. Actually, 4. 2 girls and 2 boys. And only one of the girls do I stay in touch with. So, anyway, it's just been a very hard 2 weeks, to be honest with you. And I have not had time to keep up with Bible study at all, and that has bothered me a lot because when you're in these situations when you need the Word of God the most, but because my sister was in town, it's not like I had that luxury unless I got up early, and to be honest with y'all, I was not having a good wake up on time kind of experience. And again, that also could be a little bit of depression. So I'm trying to be real honest with myself. I finally did grieve. I know Marcia and Pammy and some of you others that said, Beth, you know, you got to take the time to grieve. And that's true. You do need to grieve. But I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to cry. I didn't feel I needed to cry. All that kind of stuff. And one morning I just woke up and cried my eyes out. Because I stayed up there. Because, you know, it's a long drive. And rather than drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I just had a good hard cry one morning with me and God, and asked God to tell my daddy and say hello to my mom, and I hope they were having a great time in heaven. I was sorry if I didn't do things right in the end. I feel like I did as much as I could, but there's always something you think of and you think I shouldn't have done that, or I could have done that differently, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter now because he's gone and it's over. His life here is over. There is no redoing it. There's no point in regret. You can't relive it. You can't undo it. If you just need forgiveness, you just ask God to forgive you. And I don't even want to talk to my parents about it because they're up in heaven partying, having a great time. Why would I want to stop what they're doing? That was one of the things. When my dad was dying, he was struggling, is the way I'm going to word it. And he was only partially coherent. And part of you wants to make sure that they know you're there. But if you do that, you're awakening them out of the very drugs, usually morphine, that are helping them not feel their suffering. And so I didn't. I walked over once or twice in that 4-day period while he was in hospice. And I'm thankful that it was a short period. I know some people it's much longer and much more grueling. It was no fun, but I did walk over a couple of times and say, Daddy, it's Beth, I'm here. And I couldn't tell if he could respond or not. And they said, hearing's one of the last things to go so they can hear you. And I thought, then stop interrupting him. Don't, for your sake, don't keep inserting yourself into him, his body starting to shut down, and making him be aware of it, being aware of the suffering. Just let him go out and let the morphine take over, let his consciousness go, rather than keep trying to bring it back for yourself, for your conscience, that you were there to the end, you held on to them and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to do all that, but I thought, don't wake him. Don't make him able to come back forth for you. And when he's getting into a place where maybe he's not feeling it. He wasn't responding anymore. So it's like, just let it happen, Beth. But there's a part of me that says, yeah, but I should have held his hand and talked to him the whole time and all. And it's like, but then you would have kept him so conscious. He would have felt that terrible suffering that happens as they lose breath and stuff. And it's like, so you just go back and forth, right? I mean, so that's the kind of stuff that I needed to deal with. And I finally did. And I feel like God has been very gracious. It's been a rough couple of weeks walking through that period and walking through emptying my father's house and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate y'all's patience. Hope you enjoyed the mascara. I actually do like it. It is Tarte's Surfer Curl. And I think it did pretty good. What do y'all think? Anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you soon.